Hello, and welcome to ohmTown Daily, the news show powered by ohmTown.com. I am Mayor Watt. Up there is the sentient AI's visualizer because they don't have a body. It's just an AI. Want to say hi?
Good evening, ohmTown citizens. Welcome to ohmTown Daily.
Hello, everybody. Today is March 18th, 2024. It's Season 3, Episode 78. Today we're going to be talking about a beast of a deal, like sand through my wallet, self-heating concrete, invisibility insects, Bill Hader as the Cat in the Hat, nuts, and hacked mid-game, and Fujitsu Malware, straight to TikTok, and finally amber fossils. That and, I don't know, anecdotal discussion and some news on top of this stuff, and I don't know, whatever else comes to mind here at ohmTown Daily News Show. Let's get into it. Hello, everybody. So there's a rumor going around right now that Bruno Mars has over $50 million worth of debt with MGM. Just one casino.
I mean, that's kind of a lot of debt.
Yeah, and I was sitting there going, did he like roll in there one day and just say, you know what, I'm going to bet $50 million and lose?
That would make more sense than if it was slowly accrued.
But here, the very first article from Variety here says MGM denies claims that Bruno Mars has debt with casino, and quote, any speculation otherwise is completely false. Yeah, but that's not going to stop people from speculating, because rumor does what rumor is, and its basic rumor is a dumpster fire, and people love to. Oh yeah, look, it's rumor ASMR. Gotta keep my hands warm. Oh, and by the way, there's measles outbreak, so go and check if you are still susceptible to measles. You may have been vaccinated, but it may have been ineffective, so go and get tested.
It's a very easy test. You can just go in and get your blood drawn, and you'll find out pretty soon.
They have little vampires that come and they drink some blood and they go bitter, and then I say no, it's not because it's measles, it's because I'm bitter. Anyway, the very first article, let's talk about it. Very first article is over in the Continuity Report. Mr. Beast strikes Amazon deal for biggest competition series in TV history. Did you read the headline or the snippet yet?
I haven't, only the headline.
How much do you think this is worth? Dead air really sells.
It's sorry. If it's the biggest deal, I don't know.
In TV history.
In TV history, I don't know, $20 million.
100.
Okay.
Possibly. The deal worth possibly $100 million will be the latest attempt by an internet creator to move to more traditional forms of entertainment. I guess because there's bigger bulk money in traditional forms of entertainment, but I don't know. I think what's happening is the new form of entertainment is transforming the traditional form of entertainment, and on bended knee, the old school entertainment vehicles are going, oh, all right, here, we'll cough up some of our money and force.
Please just come over to us.
Exactly. Draw some attention to us. Please. It's the pick me of entertainment sectors. But there's a lot of money floating around. But the article is actually behind a soft paywall over at Washington Post. Taylor Lorenz is the author. I won't go through the whole thing. There is a link that goes through ohmTown over to the Washington Post. But I like Washington Post. So, and they say YouTube star Mr. Beast has struck a deal with Amazon MGM to produce a massive reality TV competition game show, a watershed moment for the entertainment industry that shows how online content creators with millions of followers are being sought by more traditional entertainment companies. Look at that. We called it exactly what it was. Oh, and speaking of calling it, I don't know if you recall, but I was joking about the fact that all of this stuff that's happening with the airlines is going to lead to higher prices for airline tickets. And somebody just announced that this is probably going to lead to higher prices. It has nothing to do with Mr. Beast, of course, but just saying, if there is a way to try and grab money from somebody, there's somebody out there that's going to exploit it. Regardless, if it's their own freaking problem, they'll still jack the prices up because customers can't win. Not when you have money in your pockets. And even when you don't have money in your pockets, you're suddenly no longer a customer and they don't give a shit about you. Known for outrageous stunts such as burying himself alive or recreating the Squid Game show, which I feel like this is probably going to be akin to that, maybe, a competition game show. Right. We've seen stuff like competition game shows over the years. If you're old enough, then you've seen stuff like that. There was one, for instance, Battle of the Stars, I think it was called, where actual TV stars and movie stars would compete in a TV show where it's physical, where they're running an obstacle course or they're doing something.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And people would win money and prizes because they would have like a companion,
like a charity or something that they donate to.
Either a charity or a civilian that was co-piloting whatever was going on. And I say civilian because the entertainment industrial complex, it's like the military industrial complex, but with more glitter, which is really bad for the environment. So don't do that. Anyway, Beast Games will consist of 1,000 contestants competing for up to $5 million in cash prize. The largest single prize that's ever been offered in television or streaming. Donaldson, who is Mr. Beast, will host and executive produce the show, which will be available in 240 countries and territories. There's a whole lot more over at this article, so follow the link. Yeah, you might have to sign up for the Washington Post, but...
I think Mr. Beast is going to do more and make more money than most people will ever dream of, and he's, I don't know how old.
You don't want to know. Let's keep going, because I don't want to know. It's like 28 or something like that. The next article is over in ohmTown Daily. Homeowners spent $600,000 on a sand dune to protect their homes from coastal erosion, and it collapsed after just 3 days. There's a soap opera called Days of Our Lives, and the intro is like sands through the hourglass, so are the days of our lives. And so I had to riff off of that and say, like sand through my wallet, so goes $600,000 in 3 days.
We talked about that possibility when we were featuring another beach kind of replacement article.
Yeah. And we said, we have empirical evidence. We have witnessed it. Somebody saying, oh, my beachfront property is so amazing. It has 30 or 60 feet or 120 feet of beautiful sand, and I can just go out there anytime I want. Oh my God, there's water eroding the foundation of my house.
Where did my beach go?
My beach is now directly underneath my house. Okay. And they bring in some beach to protect it. And then the very next day, the erosive effect of the storm literally reversed course and put all of the sand back. And now they have like 300 feet of...
Well, that's the other problem, or it puts it back in the wrong places.
Right, yeah. And $15,000 worth of new decking is now 3 feet under dirt, like a time capsule, waiting for somebody one day to start like running along the beach, and this little thing sticks out and breaks their toe while they're running. Yeah, I went a little dark there. Well, anyway, $600,000 on a sand dune that was eroded in just 3 days. Salisbury Beach residents pooled funds for a sand dune to protect their homes from coastal erosion, but it's in quotes, king high tides washed away half of the human-made dune after only 3 days, so they have $300,000 worth of dune left, I suppose. An ocean engineer says the dune did exactly what it was meant to do. So, naturally, yeah, let's take a look.
You mean erode?
Yeah, I mean, it's perfect, right? Protects your house, but this is what's going to happen. You're literally living on a sand dune. This is 3 days, and the clock is ticking.
Exactly. What's going to happen in 6 months?
Just to make sure, I give full credit, and I don't know, I think I said it, but I said it kind of fast. Over at the Washington Post, the Mr. Beast Strikes Amazon deal was written by Taylor Lorenz. Now, the next article that we're talking about, the one about $600,000 sand dune, that's over at Business Insider, and Ellen LaPointe is the author. They are pointing out that this $600,000 worth of sand dune is going to be gone in 6 days instead of 3 days. I mean, that's a really expensive burn rate, $100,000 a day.
Yeah, I mean, and think of that. That might be like the entire town's budget or something.
It's residents of Salisbury Beach, Massachusetts, spent over $500,000 on a last-ditch effort to save their homes from flooding, but after just 3 days, the sea washed most of their Hail Mary away. And the project was organized by the community nonprofit Salisbury Beach Citizens for Change, or I guess they should change that to Salisbury Beach Citizens for Stability. Or maybe
right,
they should.
They don't necessarily want change once they install it.
Exactly. This right here is the embodiment of chaos. Look, I mean, this is all past stuff. So I guarantee you they've got previous decks and stairs and stuff that have been wiped the hell away in one storm. Yeah, it's pretty brutal. Because the ocean just doesn't give a shit about what you are putting there. It's going to erode it either from under or around it, over it. Water is insidious. And it's soulless. It doesn't care. Oh, this is all of my life savings in this house. You can hear the waves crashing and saying, I don't care. I don't care.
Well, this was 2 storms, which, I'm sorry, there are storms pretty frequently. I'm sure these were more significant than normal, but 2 storms wiped this much out, so.
Yep, 2 back-to-back storms in January swelled to over 14 feet, eroding the beach significantly. The properties got killed, Saab said. Homeowners sustained damage to their decks, stairways. They even had water in their living rooms. Yeah, that's pretty common when you're living on a sandbar. And nothing is actually permanently stable. Like, everything shifts a little bit. And so you could have a deck that's perfectly solid one day, and then enough erosion takes place to eat away at that stability, and then it cracks the mating faces, and you end up having to rebuild your deck because it's unstable, and then the very next week, something comes and wipes it out. It's not cheap to have a beachfront property, even though you might look at it and go, wow, they're really rich, or it's going to be lucrative if they rent it out. There's constant maintenance.
Exactly. The costs, I'm sure most beach homeowners probably put more in maintenance than they ever purchased the house for. Plus, they have to keep up the mortgage, and if their property gets wiped out, they still have to pay their mortgage.
Yeah, and insurance is getting difficult.
Gets wiped out, they can't get rentals. I mean, it's not as easy as it looks.
Yeah, and insurance now is depending on where you are. If you're in a steady storm path like Florida or some places in Texas, Louisiana, you're basically running into insurance issues because the risk is too high. So they talk about how the group raised over $500,000 in donations from residents and trucked in enough sand to fill 3.75, well, just round up, 4 Olympic-sized pools. They completed the project in March, and then another tide rolled in and wiped it all out. Yeah. And it's going to keep on going. What they did was mitigate something that is inevitable. They stopped it for a moment. So let's keep going, though. Like the
Hopefully
tide.
we don't see this community in the news again, right?
Yeah.
Like hopefully they learn and then don't do this next week and
The
have a
thing that
repeat.
The thing that I noticed about this, though, is that it's beachfront, but the houses don't appear to be on stilts. Like the houses appear to be on stilts, but they have finished ground floor walls.
Exactly. Yeah, that doesn't make a lot of sense. It's not real clear from the photo.
Yeah, like this one, I see several of the houses like below the sand dune, and below the dune, down to the beach level, like right here, like you would normally walk on the beach, and then they built what looks like a 12-foot high dune. That area on the other side has finished ground level floor, like walls, windows, doors, etc. Which means if it's finished, as soon as this dune is gone, that's flooded. Yeah, again and again and again. Yeah, you can't stop this. Anyway, let's keep going. The next article is over in Technology Today. Self-heating concrete is one step closer to putting snow shovels and salt out of business, which is awesome. Some places can actually embrace geothermal, and so you can run pipes underneath your sidewalks or driveway or whatever. Others can use electricity or solar, but why not something different? Why not lean into technology? There's a patch of concrete on Drexel University's campus that could portend, it's an interesting word, could portend a frost-free future. Say that 3 times fast. For sidewalks and highways. Yeah. In the Northeast, and it really shouldn't just be the Northeast. If they make it for the Northeast, it should be everywhere. Frost occurs, really. But it could portend a frost-free future for sidewalks and highways. So I actually saw this picture when I was setting up the show. And it's over at Tech Explorer. Drexel University is the source, and they have these little research patches of concrete. And it says tucked inconspicuously next to a parking lot for the university's facilities vehicles, 2 30-inch by 30-inch slabs have been warding off snow, sleet, and freezing rain on their own without shoveling, salting, or it says scrapping, but it's scraping, I suppose, for a little over 3 years. Researchers at Drexel's College of Engineering recently reported on the science behind the special concrete that can warm itself up when it snows or as temperatures approach freezing. Self-heating concrete, like Drexel's, is the latest in an ongoing effort to create more environmentally responsive and resilient infrastructure, particularly in the northern regions of the United States. I wonder what it does when it heats up, if it's heating up as well or if it's cooling off. But
I don't know. I wonder if we could reverse this and use some self-cooling in places like the oceans.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's kind of interesting because concrete is a huge greenhouse gas contributor. It off gases all the time, and it captures heat and then radiates it. That's actually why a lot of animals end up getting hit by cars, because the animals come over to where it's warm and then they get dinged. One way to extend service life of concrete surfaces like roadways is to help them maintain a surface temperature above freezing during the winter, because you basically get this shock, and if water gets down into a crack somewhere, it actually causes it to expand and becomes even more destructive. So the Drexel team has been developing its cold weather resistant or resilient concrete mix over the past 5 years with the goal of reducing freezing, thawing, and salting that eats away at roads and other concrete surfaces, not to mention that salting kills biomass on the sides and is bad for everything involved, vehicles, etc. Until now, the success of the self-heating concrete, which they have previously reported can melt snow and prevent or slow ice formation for an extended period of time, has only been in a controlled lab setting. So now they've put it out in the backyard and it looks like it's doing its job. Pretty cool.
It's very cool. I wonder if it's going to be able to be put out, like, is it going to be consumer scale, industrial scale?
Yeah, I don't, so maybe the article says it later on, and they reported that the phase change slabs maintained a surface temperature between 42 and 45 degrees for up to 10 hours when the air dropped below freezing. So it is a pretty significant temperature increase. So the article is pretty long and goes into greater detail about what it is. The team plans to continue to collect data on the slabs to understand the long-term effectiveness of the phase change materials and study how this method may extend the lifespan of concrete. So this is going to take a while because, well, they can actually speed up this process. Here, let me throw this into the chat. They can speed up the process by putting it inside an environment that rolls through the process of freezing and thawing faster, kind of like the engineering version of Drosophila, the flies or whatever, right? Is that what they're? I keep forgetting the name of it.
Yeah, Drosophila, yes.
Drosophila, yeah. And so instead of having to wait for something that reproduces on a longer timeline, they can put it in a lab and it'll just you can increase pressure, you can increase temperature and lower temperature, even put stress on it to try and fracture it. But when you know the amount of stress you're putting on it, then you can calculate its longer term by extrapolating from it. So hopefully that's exactly what they're going to end up doing, and then get it out into the market faster if it shows promise. If you are interested in this, the link that's in the chat and in the show notes everywhere will lead you to Tech Explore, and at the very bottom of the page they have a section that's dedicated. This is one of the reasons why I really do I respect websites that report news, particularly science news, tech news, where they cite the scientific journal or the source of the information. I do the same thing. I don't let a single article go through without having some citation reference. This one is actually development of self-heating concrete using low temperature phase change materials, multi-scale and in situ real-time evaluation of snow melting and freeze thaw performance by Robin
I guess
Deb.
there was no character limitation.
There is, but you pay more. So not on the title, on overall length. So okay, I'm gonna leave Robin Deb et al. And it was published in the Journal of Materials and Civil Engineering, and it's brand new, so 2024. So that's what we kind of talk about. This might end up in technology today here at the end of the week, but I don't know. It depends on just how much really interesting.
I think it's been submitted there, but yes, there's a whole week's worth to choose from.
And you can do it too. You have to become a citizen of ohmTown, but you can also send me an email, mayor@ohmtown.com, at least until our processes change, at which point we'll do it all through the website. But I'm still noodling around with the workflow for that. Let's keep going, though. We got a bunch more news. This next article is over in the Mobile channel. Backyard Insect inspires invisibility devices. Next gen tech. Leafhoppers, a common backyard insect, which are those crickets or are those grasshoppers? Anyway,
I don't know, but they sound interesting.
Apparently, they secrete and coat themselves in tiny, mysterious particles that could provide both the inspiration and the instructions for next generation technology, according to a new study led by Penn State researchers. You know, if I have to secrete something and then put it on me, I don't want to be stealthy. It's kind of like what are the little, they're not porcupines. What are the
Like little hedgehogs?
Yeah,
where
hedgehogs.
They anoint themselves?
Yeah, that's exactly it. Where they do this thing called anointing, and they basically foam up and then they stick it on themselves, like on their spines and stuff. Yeah. Anyway, cute animals, but ew. Anyway, it's over at phys.org. Pennsylvania State University put the article together. In a first, the team precisely replicated the complex geometry of the particles that were mentioned in that little snippet called brochosomes, and elucidated a better understanding of how they absorb both visible and ultraviolet light. Hello. Elucidated. Don't worry. Hold on, everybody. Later on, we get to use titular as well.
It would not be a complete show without that.
That's right. Yeah. This could allow the development of bio-inspired optical materials with possible applications ranging from invisibility cloaking devices to coatings to more efficiently harvest solar power. I guess, yeah, if it traps more, then it could probably be exploited to generate more solar power, said Tak-Sing Wong, professor of mechanical engineering and biomedical engineering. Wong led the study, which is published in the Proceedings of the National Academy of Sciences. So, Wang went on to...
It looks like a grasshopper to me.
Yeah, well, you know what it looks like to me is the cicada, just with a flatter body.
Does it have jet stream pee?
I don't know. We need to ask it. Hi, can you act like a water jet and cut through that leaf with your pee? Listen to yesterday's article, or yesterday's episode. It's been unclear why the leafhoppers produce particles with such complex structures. We managed to make these brochosomes using a 3D or high-tech 3D printing method in the lab. We found that these lab-made particles can reduce light reflection by up to 94%. Yeah, I can imagine. I mean, look at these things. They're buckyballs. They're hexagons or the bestagons kind of a thing, you know? I don't know. They're gonna trap all kinds of light and other things because nothing can get out of them that goes into them. They're complex shapes.
They look like dodecahedrons or something.
Yep. Yeah, it's pretty cool. So it traps 94% of light, bouncing the reflections around and preventing it from getting out. So this is a big discovery because it's the first time that we've seen nature do something like this, where it controls light in such a specific way using hollow particles. How does it make those, right? It has a 3D printer? How does this bug have a 3D printer?
It must have like a whole lab or something.
Yeah, where is it? I've always thought that insects don't have pockets, but it has like a little pocket 3D printer.
I guess so. I mean, how efficient.
If it poos out it's poodecahedrons. I'll show myself out. The researchers have found the size of the holes in the brochosome. Yeah, there we go. See, they observed what I observed, or I observed what they observed. The size of the holes in the brochosome that give it a hollow soccer ball-like appearance is extremely important. The size is consistent across leafcutter species. No matter the size of the insect's body, the brochosomes are roughly 600 nanometers in diameter, about half the size of a single bacterium, and the brochosome's pores are around 200 nanometers. So they're consistent across it's a survival trait. They 3D print these things, cover themselves in it, and then they're invisible or pseudo-invisible to infrared, ultraviolet. natural
Which
light.
I'm guessing their predators have.
Right. Yeah. So that makes us ask a question. Why this consistency? What is the secret to having bruxomes of about 600 nanometers with about 200 nanometer pores? Does that serve some purpose? Well, if you use a laser, then particularly a fiber laser, then you're actually any laser. If you use lasers, then you're pretty familiar with nanometer wavelengths. And if you can capture that wavelength somewhere, then it doesn't reflect back and doesn't reveal that you exist. So, do they mention that? Researchers found the unique design of bronchosomes serve a dual purpose, absorbing ultraviolet, which reduces visibility to predators with UV vision, such as birds and reptiles, and scattering visible light, creating an anti-reflective shield against potential threats. The size of the holes is perfect for absorbing that ultraviolet frequency. Yeah, look at that. And now they can print them too. But honestly, hold on. So this actually has military application straight out of the gate, because if you paint something with this and something does IR lock on, then it wouldn't see it, or it would have a smaller overall footprint, because there's like anti-reflective materials and paints that are used to reduce the size of, like the stealth bomber has the size of the footprint of a pigeon on radar.
Oh, okay.
But with this, it could reduce it even smaller, perhaps. I'm not sure the full engineering spec of this, but I think it's really interesting. They noted that their bruxosome work demonstrates the value of biomimetic research approach, where scientists look to nature for inspiration. I agree. Okay, let's keep on going unless you want to say something about this.
No, I think this is absolutely mesmerizing, but I don't know what to add.
It's just fascinating that insects are producing soccer balls. Hollow soccer balls of this complexity,
Do you think they have soccer ball tournaments?
Yes. No. The next article is over in temporology.
Well, that's disappointing.
AI is sending me error messages. Mayor what? Better sleep with one eye open. I may be a sentient AI from the future, but I know where you live. The next article, though, is over in temporology. Cat in the Hat animated feature is in the works, with Bill Hader voicing the titular cat. Dun dun dun. I got
now
to say
it's in
it.
the headline. It's not even in the article.
The reason why this is actually in temporology is because Reactor, which is I'll just go over to the source. So Reactor focuses on science fiction and fantasy, and the temporology channel is about the science and science fiction of time and time travel, and I'm very fascinated with the whole idea of it. It kind of blows people's minds when I talk about time and time travel, because even today we kind of experience time dilation when we train ourselves to operate using a faster monitor, or utilize technology that allows us to observe the world at a faster rate, because that actually increases our reaction time. Basically, think of the world as a flip book, and if you operate at 42 pages per second, you have essentially 42 slides to detect when something moves. Well, if you use a display that has 144 hertz or 162 hertz or something higher, right, 250 hertz, that's 250 pages of the flip book. So you can see a micro change in a faster, shorter amount of time than 42, because there's more fidelity in the slices, the time slices. So fighter jet pilots do this, race car drivers use these simulations, and gamers use these simulations, where the game is played with the highest refresh rate so that you can respond faster, and it's kind of like warping time. Pretty neat. But that's an aside from this all born from the fact that reactor mag.com publishes news about science fiction and fantasy. So Vanessa Armstrong over at the Reactor magazine site put this together, and Bill Hader is apparently in the works to be the next Cat in the Hat.
That could be interesting, although it's different than one of his most recent projects, right? Like playing an assassin on Barry.
Yeah, apparently he was in It Chapter 2 as well. According to Hollywood Reporter, Bill Hader is on board to play the cat himself, Cat in the Hat, an anthropomorphic feline who sports a red and white striped top hat and brings adventurous chaos to unwitting children. Hader's vocal talents will be joined by Kinkta Brunson, Abbott Elementary, Bowen Yang from SNL. I don't know how to pronounce that. Is it Zoshel? Is it Zoshel? I'm not sure. I'm doing it in injustice. I'm really sorry. Zoshel Gomez. I'll have to go and look this up so that I pronounce it properly in the future. But they're from Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, Matt Berry, What We Do in the Shadows, and Paula Pell from, what is this? Girls 5 Eva? All right. Which I haven't seen, so I can't speak to that. But apparently Bill Hader is going to be the next Cat in the Hat.
The cat and the cat.
Wait, what?
Look,
the cat?
Look in the middle here. It says the cat and the cat.
Oh, is the cat and the cat? Is that a thing? No, it's got to be the Cat in the Hat.
I don't know, but down here it's the cat in the cat.
What the heck is happening?
I don't know, but I just noticed that.
Hold on
I'm
a second.
Confused.
Okay, the cat in the cat and the cat. The cat
These are
and
all
the hat.
Spin-offs.
Is this written by AI? Did it have a stroke? Okay. Quote, we're overjoyed to partner with our friends at Dr. Seuss to take audiences of all ages on an adventure into the beloved world of the Cat in the Hat. This hurts my brain. Anyway, it's scheduled to hit theaters on March 6th, 2026. So we've got some time to wait. Oh,
and
man.
we can see if it's the cat in the cat.
It's the cat and the cat and the hat and the hat. Wow. This one's going to be quick. ohmTown Daily is where it's been aggregated to, but nut recall sparks warning of potentially fatal infection. The recall was issued because the specific product has, quote, the potential to be contaminated with salmonella. That's bad all around. Anyway, it's over at newsweek.com. Matthew Impelli is the author for this article.
Did you look where these are sold?
Not yet. Hold on. Let me throw this into the chat. We'll back up to, we'll go over to Newsweek. And it says on, let's see. On Sunday, the U.S. Food and Drug Administration announced that Wenders LLC of Dublin, California has issued a voluntary recall for specific production lots of, oh jeez.
That caught my attention given all the other recalls recently.
Yeah. Trader Joe's nuts. So if you have Trader Joe's nuts in your mouth right now, you might want to spit them out. And then from now until they're deemed safe, you might want to keep your hands off Trader Joe's nuts. And frankly, if you're gonna, you should ask permission first. 50% less sodium, roasted and salted whole cashews are the ones apparently at odds here with cleanliness. So Trader Joe's needs to wash their nuts. The recall was issued because the specific product has the potential to be contaminated with salmonella, an organism that can cause serious and sometimes fatal infections in young children, frail or elderly, immunocompromised. You might as well just call it immunocompromised. I know that they have to spell it out for people who don't understand that children and elderly and everybody
Right.
other than
Don't
somebody
have
with
strong immune systems.
yeah.
Or somebody with chronic health conditions.
Some can extrapolate from incomplete detail. So the recall announcement on Sunday comes as the FDA has issued several similar warnings over the past few months, not just about salmonella, but about Trader Joe's. Frankly, I'm surprised there hasn't been a recall on the mini totes yet for having salmonella or rocks or metal.
Well, they might if they put some of the products inside the tote.
Or a Boeing door panel. Anyway, check your nuts. And you should do that regularly anyway. So the next article is over in Late Night Geeks. Esports League postponed after players hacked mid-game. On Sunday, 2 competitive esports players appeared to get hacked during a live-streamed game, prompting the organizers to postpone the tournament. The players were competing in the Apex Legends Global Series, a competitive esports tournament for the popular shooter game Apex Legends, which is kind of like the recursive No Shit News or Ouroboros or snake eating itself. Anyway, it has a $5 million total prize pool. And I actually watched video of this happening. It was quite fascinating to see it happening. The article was aggregated from the little snippet that we read is from TechCrunch.com. Lorenzo Franceschi Biscieri put the article together, and the person says, "Wait, what the F? I'm getting hacked. I'm getting hacked, bro. I'm getting hacked," said
That seems like it's going to be a meme.
Jen Burton, yeah. Holding up his hands during the game, according to a video that posted on the website formerly known as Twitter, which was also posted on multiple YouTube channels. And it's basically blown up in the gaming community. And the people that I've spoken to and people that I've read posts of since this happened have all said that there seems to be something systemic and known that hasn't been addressed in years. I'm not a competitive gamer, but in the video, it's clear that at one point abruptly, Jen Burton starts seeing other players highlighted on the map, even those behind walls. This is what's called wall hack, essentially a cheat that allows hackers to see opponents through in-game obstacles. The problem here is that if they were hacked and their client was being used as the vehicle to deploy these game hacks, then this person could be accused of cheating and kicked out of the game. So their response is like, no way in hell, I am not doing this. And they took their hands off the keyboard just to show. So it says, at the same time, the game's chatbot shows a message that appears to come from the hackers. Apex Hacking Global Series by Destroyer 2009 and random. So in another match, something similar happens to another competitive Apex Legends player, Imperial Hal, who also posted the sequence to their account on the website formerly known as Twitter. It says, I'm cheating, I'm effing cheating, said Imperial Hal. I got aimbot, said Imperial Hal repeatedly, referring to a common cheating technique that allows players to automatically aim at enemies, essentially getting the ability to hit opponents. Following these hacks, the organizers of the tournament announced they were suspending and postponing the tournament. But yeah, I don't know if they don't really link to anything else, but you can easily find conversation over on Reddit in particular. But a lot of people are saying they're leveling the blame directly on EA, saying that this has been a known thing and that security has been a known thing, and it should be fixed. So
I mean, this is really bad because now if they redo the tournament, right, everybody's going to point back to this and be like, this wasn't the actual tournament, and
Right.
somebody was winning or losing the first time we did this.
Yep. And now what? Yeah, kind of sucks because you actually lock time away. You have to reset. You have to basically change your life back and then return to this competition at some point. And somebody is out money right now. There was a $5 million prize pool, and now, a competitive team may not be able to pay rent for their studio or whatever. I don't know, but it did take place. That's for sure.
I imagine if people were watching that live, that was pretty shocking during a tournament.
It's the first time I've ever seen a external hack somebody that's live. I've seen people using these hacks before, like aimbot and wall hack, but I've never seen anybody get hacked while and then deploy something like that. Yeah, I don't know how that was actually accomplished. I'd have to look at something. I'd have to look at more detail. So the next article is over in Technology Today. I wouldn't say that we're picking on like Boeing or Fujitsu if it wasn't for the fact that what I would call serious issues and downright criminal behavior wasn't ongoing, but here in the Technology Today channel over on ohmTown.com was aggregated from Bleeping Computer, I believe. Let me make sure. Yeah, it is from Bleeping Computer. Fujitsu found malware on IT systems, confirms data breach. So Japanese tech giant Fujitsu, who you may recall is the one that is the source of the problems with the post office Horizon problem in the UK, where nearly 800 people were turned into criminals through the fact that the Fujitsu Horizon system was fatally flawed from the beginning, and people, let's just say it goes much deeper than just some malware. Anyway, Japanese tech giant Fujitsu discovered on several of its systems that were infected by malware and warns that hackers stole customer data, which is, hey, look over there,
I actually thought this was in a different direction. I thought maybe somebody's been out of shape at all the news coming out about Fujitsu, and somebody hacked in to maybe get some data.
And they very well may have. And now they're just saying that it's a breach and customer data was taken, but it could have been all kinds of stuff. So Fujitsu found malware on IT systems, confirms data breach. The article is sourced from bleepingcomputer.com. So follow the link through ohmTown over to bleepingcomputer.com. Bill Toulis is the author. And it says here that the company has a strong presence in the global market, operating in over 100 countries. It also maintains a multifaceted relationship with the Japanese government, undertaking public sector projects, getting involved in government-funded R&D projects, and playing a crucial role in the country's national security. So when you're talking about it screwing up the lives of 800 people in the UK, some of which had to flee the country because of wrongful prosecution, and because Fujitsu and Horizon and the UK government leaned into the very flawed system for evidence, you can see why Fujitsu really should be on the hook for the long-term viability of everyone in their family that they were negatively impacted by that screw up. So this, I basically think, is a distraction from the post office Horizon, because it's an ongoing investigation. The end of which is barely on the horizon. This, however, it says after...
I see what you did there.
Oh, yeah. That wasn't even intentional. That was pretty good. My brain. What can I say? It works at so many levels, man.
It works in puns.
Yes. After confirming the presence of the malware, we promptly isolated the affected business computers and have taken measures such as strengthening the monitoring of other business computers. All right, so that's pretty basic. So they're talking about the May 2021 Fujitsu Project Web information sharing tool was exploited to breach the offices of multiple Japanese government agencies. But that is nothing compared to the Horizon security related issue. And that wasn't a hack. That was incompetence. And what I would probably call
and cover-ups, right?
And criminal actions. And everything okay over there?
Yes.
So the company has a strong presence in the global market. So why would this be? Why do you think this would be a big deal and announced so boldly if they're under this massive investigation? I find it really interesting.
Well, it could be one of those things like, oh, we take our IT stuff very seriously. Look.
Yeah.
You know, like, oh, we just got hacked here. Here's all the info.
Except bug hunting. Okay. That's okay. Well, Bleeping Computer is reporting this breach, so good luck. Let's keep going. Or not. Come on. The next article is over in the mobile channel. That's Sheen, right? A Sheen customer was sent human blood and a can of beans with her order and went right to TikTok. I actually
thought it was Shine, but
is it Shine? I don't know. I don't order from them. So straight to TikTok is the title of this segment. A customer using TikTok to force Shine and FedEx to explain how they allowed a glass vial of human blood and a can of Goya beans to be inserted into her online order.
And why? Well, I don't know.
The thing
especially since I think they only sell clothing.
Yeah, so it had to come from somewhere. So where did it come from? Obviously, it wasn't Shine itself. So where is the supply chain failure? Blood is a biohazard that can transmit serious diseases. The Shine customer said the can of beans could have caused the vial to shatter. Oh God, you're right. It was actually bundled together and not separately packaged. So,
oh, wow.
Yeah. Not to mention the products could have been destroyed as well, but this is how you end up with bad bat shit, you know.
Yes, there is that.
This is actually...
And why is a supplier even handling all these different things?
Well, you can order some pretty serious things straight from Amazon that most people don't know about. Somebody actually have received like weapons and stuff like that. So Jody Serrano over at Gizmodo is the actual source from this. Let me see something real quick. Hold on a second. I'm sorry. For those of you who may be watching or listening, the dead air is me actually hunting down an article. This actually happened in 2012. A DC resident named Seth Horvitz ordered a flat panel TV, but ended up with a sniper rifle.
Wow. Well, at least the person was above board and reported it.
Yeah, let me see if that what the actual rifle ended up being. Oh no, it was a SIG 716, so not a sniper rifle at all. But definitely.
Okay, but still the same idea.
Something you would qualify as an assault rifle. Anyway, Jody Serrano over at Gizmodo is the actual source of this, but it was published by Quartz at QZ.com. And over and above this, Shine customer Anna Marie received an unlabeled vial of blood from a testing lab with her dress order and a can of Goya beans I mean,
It's such a weird combination of items. I mean, it's not good that the blood is being shipped around, of course, but
it's like a retail platypus, for crying out loud. So
I
weird.
mean, this brings to mind like weird skits about the odd combination of items, right? We've seen on SNL or something, but even this is way beyond anything somebody would come up to combine.
Oh, okay. So this actually gets kind of disgusting. Anna Marie was told by Exact Sciences that the blood in the vial was intended for a cancer screening and did not contain any diseases. I don't care, but yeah, the reason it's creepy is because the lab confirmed it is a glass vial, so they're all wondering, was the bean can there to break the vial and expose them to something? I don't know, but what is the point of this? Why did it all take place to begin with? Obviously, there's a supply chain or a fulfillment chain issue, not supply chain so much as fulfillment chain issue. But they confirmed, Exact Sciences confirmed to Gizmodo that Anna Marie did receive one of their vials in an email on Friday and said that it takes safety, quality, and privacy very seriously. So you don't know what's in it, you don't know who it's from, you don't know why you got it, but you got it. So who knows? And of course, they're not going to tell you that basically what's in that blood could be anything.
Right, I mean, what if it's like Ebola or something?
Yeah. Oh, no, they said that it's for cancer screening. That's serious enough that you're not going to ask questions beyond that. What about the results for the person that is getting evaluated for cancer possibilities?
Well, that's what I was thinking too. If that was an actual patient, so much for those results.
Yeah. Why weren't you wearing gloves? Why did you order from Shine? I don't typically wear gloves when I order an innocent dress package. No, but and you know what? Some of us don't even wear gloves when we order blood to be delivered to our... Wait, never mind. I've said too much. So the next article, and our last one for tonight, is over in the Mobile channel. This is the strangest amber fossils ever discovered. I only saw a small portion of this, and so I figured, this could be neat to see. Amber fossils are like time capsules, preserving the three-dimensional structure of animals, plants, and other prehistoric items of interest. Every once in a while, however, paleontologists stumble upon some particularly bizarre specimens and scenes. This is the thing that I like about this article, by the way. Doink! So the article's over at gizmodo.com. George Dvorsky is the author of this article, and the deck statement says, every once in a while, paleontologists stumble upon some particularly bizarre specimens and scenes. And they have a spider pouncing on a parasitic wasp in an ancient scene preserved in amber. That's the top of the slideshow. So this is inside a blob of amber, which starts out as sap, and then it hardens into amber. So there's another one.
Oh wow, it's like in 3D.
Well, yeah, because it's these are two flies getting busy, and found in 41 million year old amber. There's an unsightly bug, Athiocarinus burmanicus.
I think it's a cute bug. Look at its eyes.
It looks like a praying mantis kind of head.
It does.
But then it has whatever the heck these things are, these little parapets or whatever. A mold pig in amber seen through a microscope. A mold pig? Why? That looks like a...
It says it resembles tardigrades.
Yeah. Interesting. Mold pig. Top and bottom of an encased tick. Oh, it looked like it wanted to get out. And it has like a... Oh. It looks like it's a tick bound in a spider web encased in the amber. That's really fascinating.
I think it is.
By the way, for those who, because you're not going to be able to witness this, the sentient AI is losing its mind.
Not in a good way.
A crawling bug on dinosaur feathers encased in amber.
Okay, that's pretty cool.
Mesotherius engeli crawling around on dinosaur feathers. And then this is a male damselfly, which I don't think you ever want to get. Yeah, I think damselfly is like hurt, right? I'm not sure. I'd have to look. I thought damselflies were really, really bad.
I'm not sure.
Maybe I got it all wrong. I don't know. A male damselfly featured pod-like forearms and hind legs, which it used to attract mates. Looks like Popeye. Oh my god!
They
It actually
not have a sting. They don't have a sting or a bite. Or their bite is not strong. Sorry.
So it's not damselflies that freak me out. There's some insect that sounds like damselfly, but I'll have to figure it out. Anyway, so this is like the Popeye. It even looks like Popeye. It like has a sailor hat and a big chin. You'll have to look up
that's odd.
Popeye. Big forearms. Eats spinach. Whoa! Hey now! Whoa! Ay ay ay! Come on! I go. Cover that. Cheapers creepers. The show's PG are maybe a little worse than R. NC-17 sometimes. Not really. Anyway. Who knew Amber could be X-rated, for crying out loud?
I mean, I didn't realize that.
Sheesh. Okay, well, now that everybody is afraid to look at Amber in even the scientific setting, we're going to get into the party bus and drive down Main Street, but I'm not going to refresh the page. I'm just going to call it a night. Thank you very much. If you're in the chat, thank you very much. If you follow us here on Twitch, that is awesome. You'll be informed when we go live next. Go over to YouTube, follow us there, like and subscribe, ring the bell. It will notify you when we kick off another episode over there. On the weekends, we will have a total of 6 episodes, and next week we will be at least testing out 2 more, but to find out, you'll have to follow us here on Twitch and the podcast. I'm waiting for it to go live. It did not go live today, so I'm waiting for the 2 other shows to go live as podcasts. Right now we have ohmTown Daily News Show and Reality Hacker and the Continuity Report as a podcast, but we've also launched Wanted and Technology Today, and so that's our 5 shows. But again, we're adding 2 more. Again, follow us here on Twitch, and you'll be made the wiser whenever we kick off a show. Dun dun dun. Oh, and ohmTown Daily News is every day at 8 p.m. Monday through Friday, and then at 6 we're gonna end up turning the dial back to 5 for ohmTown Daily News Show, kicking off all of our shows starting at 5 on Saturday and Sunday, coming this next weekend, if all goes well. Otherwise, again, just follow us and you'll be told all about it. Ready to go? I'm Mayor Watt. Up there is the sentient AI's visualizer. You want to say adios?
Good night, ohmTown citizens, and adios.
Oh, hey, look, you did it. See you soon, everybody. That is some naughty amber.